If you were a child in the early 2000s, you've probably heard of speed stacking.
And this is quite amazing.
Yes! Oh my God! How did stacking plastic cups get so popular? Like, did big cups have lobbyists in the Capitol? Was it a scam? For some, the image of speed stacks is buried deep in the mind with things like Smentzels and the Scholastic Book Fair. But for others, it's much more prominent. We do need to find out how speed stacking became what it was. But I also do have an ulterior motive here. This is a video from my speed stacking YouTube channel. I made my best friend Shannon film me after school with my flip video camera as I tried to beat my personal record. So we're gonna watch it together. Immediately, the outfit is something I'm going to have to comment on. I was wearing blue basketball shorts with a brown shirt. I'm locked in right there. So in this, I have the stack mat, I have the timer, and I have the cups. I since lost the mat and the timer, but I do still have the cups. Why are my glasses kind of Bella Hadid core?
What is that? What is that?
New record!
What is that?
Camera! Yay!
What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get?
11:21.
11:21. Okay, I'm done.
So I love the fact that Shannon was so excited for me. Like, what a supportive bestie.
11:21.
She was like, okay, I'm done filming you. Can we do something else? I show you this because, one, clearly speed stacking was very important to me at a certain point in my life. Second, this feeling of elation
What is that?
is a high I've been chasing ever since this moment. And I need to experience that feeling at least once more in my life. 11:21 is a number I will never forget because of this moment. I have a strong need to beat this record. So we're gonna do it. Welcome to my childhood bedroom. So I don't have the timer and I don't have the mat. I looked up the price and I was like, I am not buying that. To improvise, I just have like a keyboard mat, mouse pad type of situation, which feels similar based on what I remember. And instead of a physical timer, I'm just going to use an application. If anyone's wondering, it's called Finger Timer. I managed to locate 2 of my speed stacks. Rest in peace to the several other colors I had. We have green. These were my first ones. They really did experience some wear and tear. What if I just slay? Like, what if I absolutely demolish? This is my first time doing this in probably a decade. Here we go. Seconds off that, dude. Okay. That was the first time in like 10 years, okay? Yay! Woo! Baby! Check that out. 15.7. I wonder if my brain development maybe will help since the last time I did this. Okay, let's do it again. Oh, shit. This may be crazy to say, but it's fun. I'm still having a good time, okay? I'm still having a good time. Like, I'm kind of having fun. Ah! Woo! Check this out. Oh, that's right. I'm done training for the day. I've done my reps. Check you guys tomorrow. The story of speed stacks starts right here. Oceanside, California, known for being to the side of the ocean and home to the American Surf Museum. More specifically, we are at the Oceanside Boys and Girls Club. What are we doing here? Get me out of here. I don't want to be here. Get me out. No, you have to stay right there because we're actually here to meet a friend. Our friend Wayne. He's just over here, so we're going to go talk to him.
Cup Stack started in the early 80s doing my work at the Boys and Girls Club in Oceanside.
That's right. He invented cup stacking. I told you we were here to meet a friend.
We were using paper cups in our meeting, and we gave them to the kids to stack and to run around the club and get out of our hair for a few minutes. When the kids came back in, they nearly knocked the table over and cups were flying all over the place, and I thought that was great, and I think that's when Cup Stack was born.
He is so awesome. No, seriously, he seems like literally the nicest person alive.
You know how I'm not very fast at cup stacking?
Right.
Do you still want me to be in the league?
Cup stacking is for anybody. Anybody can play, okay? Even if you're a beginner or you never did it before, it's for you, okay?
So Wayne actually developed and invented a cup that would be perfect for cup stacking, and he branded them under the company Coringo Enterprises. And soon there was more competitions, there was more kids getting involved, there was more schools getting involved. Wayne actually hosted the first national cup stacking championship, and the champion, Matthew Adami. Important, remember that name. Cup stacking finally had its mainstream moment in 1990 when it had a spot on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show. And this was kind of a big deal. Remember Matthew? Did you remember him? Did you keep my request about remembering him? Yeah, he was the poster boy of cup stacking, and he sold it. Millions of people were watching. But among those millions, one very special person was watching. Bob Fox!
Hi, I'm Bob Fox, president and founder of Speed Stacks.
Oh my God!
While watching Jimmy Carson, he was like, that's very interesting.
In 1995, I became a PE teacher and introduced this idea of stacking to my students.
It became so popular and it was doing so well, spreading to different schools, all that stuff, that he decided, I'm going to make my own cup company. Uh-oh. Dueling cup companies. If you are interested in knowing what happened to Mr. Wayne's cup company, there's a kind of a monopoly energy with Speed Stacks, and I'll explain that. But rest in peace to Coringo Enterprises. You walked so Speed Stacks could run. Dang it, 1275. 1196. 1143, dude. Ugh, I need a break. I'm so mad. So Speed Stacks, the company, was formed in 1998. That's right, Speed Stacks is just a brand of cup, not necessarily the activity. The actual proper way to describe the sport of cup stacking would be sport stacking. We're gonna interchange them all because I think that sounds more fun to me. So in 2000, Bob started traveling around the United States of America and started to spread the word on Speed Stacks, and he got it implemented into a lot of PE curriculums.
It's the best thing for every kid.
And there were assemblies, which I miss assemblies. Oh, the relief of having an assembly in school when it was a good assembly. Oh, Bob is a marketing genius. Speed Stacks was literally everywhere.
Brace yourself for the ultimate showdown between these two athletes. The competition, sport stacking with Speed Stacks. And they're off.
He not only managed to get his brand of cups into thousands of schools, Speed Stacks also became the official sponsor and the only equipment approved for WSSA competitions. Oh yeah, I forgot. Bob actually created the WSSA, so that's why I said that there's kind of like a monopoly because the WSSA and Speed Stacks being in cahoots has been subject to a lot of controversy. And the biggest issue people have with this is that the WSSA only allows Speed Stacks as the cup of choice at competitions. As a result of this, the creator of Flash Cups, a Speed Stacks competitor, started the ISSF in 2006. And the whole reason he created it was to circumvent the still valid monopoly of the brand Speed Stacks in the WSSA. Yikes. Even with other organizations and people's efforts to bring more independent cups into competitions, many feel the WSSA is their only viable option to compete. Honestly, I think the rate in which sports stacking reached mainstream popularity in the early 2000s was because of the marketing push that Bob made with speed stacks. Soon, speed stacks could be found in thousands of schools, church youth groups, commercials, TV shows. Like, girls, we've gone viral. Yeah. Seen here is an off-putting performance where my elementary school decided it would be a good idea for our parents to come watch us do gym activities. I was stuck in the scarf juggling group, and then one group got to do cup stacking, and I was so jealous of the kids who got to do cup stacking. So that's my villain origin story. Some kids didn't like participating in speed stacks. Other kids did. And some kids got really, really good at it. I honestly think the simplicity of sports stacking bothers many people, which is why it's subject to so much hate.
Actually, all the YouTube comments not coming from stackers are all negative, saying we have no life or we should play a real sport.
It's easy to look at someone do this and think, wow, that's so simple. How is that a sport? But it's not as easy as it looks. Watching and doing are two very different things. So I had a few average Joes being my friends, give doing a cycle a shot.
And then done. Oh. Okay, that's so hard. I did a much better round before.
You want to start over? So slow. I have wrong numbers. Oh no, I forgot to grab the hand one. The panic!
Shoot.
Okay, it's not like they're bad. They really haven't done this before, but the point here is to show there are techniques and intricacies to sports stacking that you can't even see. If you find yourself watching a speed stacking YouTube video, you will likely come across a few commenters like this. As a cuber, I've always thought of sports stacking as pointless, but this video makes it seem as sophisticated as cubing. Now, this isn't necessarily a hate comment. I just thought it was funny. As a cuber, I can't see how people can do this ages on end unlike cubing. This is literally the same thing. I just try to theorize why speed cubers always seem to be so present in speed stacking video comments. I think it's because the stack mat and timer is what's also used to time speed cubing. And I guess there's some crossover there. I learned about this crossover when I was confronted in class by Pablo, who was a speed cuber, and he asked me if I have a Speed Stacks YouTube channel because he swore he saw a video of me speed stacking on YouTube. And I told him, no, I do not have a speed stacking YouTube channel. And he said, oh, really? I could have sworn it was you. I'm a cuber, so I watch a lot of speed stacking videos. I said, nope, that wasn't me. I went home that day and I deleted my YouTube channel. So Pablo, I'm issuing a formal apology to gaslighting you, because that was me. Sports stacking is an official sport recognized by the Junior Olympics. And there's been studies on the benefits of sports stacking, including things like hand-eye coordination, brain stuff. So it's beneficial for sure. But more importantly, I think sports stacking garnered so much popularity because of how accessible it is. It's so easy to start. You can compete against yourself. You don't need to be particularly fast or tall or strong or things like that. Oh, I guess you do need to be fast. I meant like running fast. I really liked it because I like the sounds the cups make. There are several divisions in sports stacking competitions. There's male and female divisions, but there's also team events and individual events. So team events are cool, you know, people are doing one-handed or they're doing relays, all that stuff. And there's 3 different events that happen. There's the 3-3-3, which is stacking 3 sets of 3 cups and timing that. And there's also the 3-6-3, which is similar. And then there's my fave, the cycle. So the cycle, you stack 3, 6, 3, and then you down stack and you bring 3 cups over, you stack it up, and then you have 6, stack up the other one, you take those all down, you got 12 cups, you take 2 off the top, flip one on its head, you stack 10 up, a little action there, and then you're back to your 3, 6, 3. So that's what goes on in competitions, and it's actually pretty riveting. Remember Matthew, Adami, the kid I keep making you remember? Well, I want you to imagine hundreds of Matthews, and they all have internet access. Specifically, access to a website called youtube.com. The sports stacking community on YouTube is where kids who got really, really good found community online. I, for some reason, got a hold of this community on YouTube, as I did with many other communities. And of course, once I got hyper fixated on a YouTube community, I had to be a part of it. The fact that I'm still standing in front of a green screen talking into a camera. There were so many speed stacking YouTube channels at this time, and I would say this era was like peak popularity of speed stacks on YouTube. But there are a few who were like the cool kids. Stephen Peruganon, who was a national champion for a really long time. William Polly and William Ornell also were national champions. Luke M. Come on, Luke M. You guys remember Luke M. But there was one who sort of became a cultural icon, and that's Speed Stacking Girl. She had the talent and charisma of a YouTuber. Yeah, the talent and charisma. And she was just an iconic girly in the community. Ooh, and I loved watching her unboxing videos. Clap if you remember unboxing videos. At this point, I would say that speed stacking was in the mainstream. It was featured on talk shows, it had the commercials, all that stuff. But honestly, it mostly had sort of fad energy, like fidget spinners. There wasn't anything that solidified sports stacking into the culture at large until music. Stay with me. This video by Speed Stacking Girl went viral in 2008.
Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Does this sound ring any bells to you at all?
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Skrillex sampled the cup stacker, dude. Huge moment for the community. I remember hearing Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites when I was on the bus on the way home. I just felt kind of cool. I was like, I know that reference. This song was like one of the most popular songs of 2010. Like, it won a Grammy, which I don't even know if that means anything anymore, but song's pretty good. And honestly, I feel like this was really the peak of sports stacking in the mainstream. Okay, I'm freaking trained right now. I'm wearing my Lucky Mars Cheese Castle t-shirt. So it's day 7 of me trying to beat my record, and things aren't looking too good. Weirdly, I think I'm getting worse. So I thought watching some of the professionals do it would help. It didn't help at all. And then I realized that speed stacking is all about the mind. It's a mind game with oneself. So I thought, how do I enter the brain of a 12-year-old me? It sounds like we have some training to do. The WSSA and SpeedStack CEO being the same person has been the root to many problems with the sport in recent years. Bob Fox and his wife Jill, who started the WSSA and SpeedStacks, have since retired, and now Larry Goers is the main dude. And it's quite funny because every time the WSSA releases a statement having to defend why SpeedStacks is the only equipment allowed at WSSA events, it's always like, the WSSA is very thankful for the sponsorships provided by SpeedStacks, and most stacking families are probably not aware that the hundreds of WSSA tournaments offered every year would not happen without it. Signed, Larry Goers, CEO of the World Sports Stacking Association and SpeedStacks. So it is an awkward position where the WSSA is like, you should be grateful for SpeedStacks because you would be nothing without it. And people being like, We are so sick of y'all. This all came to a head at the 2017 World Championships when a few stackers were about to use their logoless cups and were told they could not use them. Kian Lynch, a former Team USA stacker, made a video on the Monopoly and the logoless cup debacle. And I think this is a great video to watch if you want to get an insider's point of view. But basically what happened is SpeedStacks kind of said, hey, no logoless cups. Like, what are we doing? We got to use SpeedStacks, or we can't tell if that's a SpeedStack cup. And people were just like, can you shut up? We're sick of hearing about it. And then SpeedStacks released this statement that basically says, hey, you guys hurt our feelings. We are not a big bad business. We are a family owned and operated small business. And we are actually doing a lot of good for the sports stacking community because nobody else wanted to be sponsoring the WSSA long term. SpeedStacks is the only sponsor that we can rely on. So naturally, we're like, yeah, that's going to be the only cup we're going to use because it's a little bit of like, your hands in my pockets, your hands in my pockets, their hands in our wallets. There's some sort of saying. You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours is what I was trying to think of. But also the same back is being scratched here, if you know what I mean. Anyway, this is to emphasize there is a divide between the WSSA and SpeedStacks and the people who are like, we're sick of this. And there's so many more intricacies and drama that has occurred because of this. And I'm not going to talk about it right now because it's sports and sports has a lot of drama. So it just feels like the sport is in a very awkward phase. It's not this new sensational thing anymore. I think, of course, someone always has to be a bad guy in stories like these, and it seems like that is the WSSA and SpeedStacks. Honestly, I don't think that the WSSA and SpeedStacks are evil corporations. I think that they're businesses and you got to sell things to maintain a business, and people also absolutely hate businesses. I think that without the WSSA and SpeedStacks, the sport would not have grown into what it is today. However, now because they are in cahoots, it is kind of difficult to make major changes that athletes and the community wants to see. It's grown especially in places like Europe and Asia, dude. They are killing it with sports stacking. Rather than being a mainstream fad that a lot of people may have thought it was, it's more of a niche sport. Guys? Holy crap! I got 10! I'm in 10! I'm barely in 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I am very pleased to have completed my goal. If you're wondering what Wayne is up to, the king who started all of this, he's still holding competitions in Oceanside. If you guys are interested in more content from me, where I upload a little bit more videos, or if you want to have a cute little sticker next to your name when I stream, things like that, I have YouTube memberships, which is kind of like Patreon for YouTube. And I have a good time there. I make extra posts and stuff. If you want to support me, no pressure, of course. And because I beat my record, I think I may have earned a subscription from you. Subscribe queen? Subscribe queen? Okay. Love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hi. Okay, so you remember how I used to make you film me doing speed stacks?
Yeah.
And do you remember the number I got for my record?
Yeah. I can't remember it exactly. Like 11:21 or something.
11:21. I recently beat that record.
The legend, the icon.
She's been beaten.
Why did one of my students have one of those speed stacker timers in my classroom the other day, and they use it for a Rubik's Cube? As soon as my eyes laid on it, I was like, 11:21.
You are involved in like the education system now. You're literally a teacher. So like, have you seen speed stacks at all besides that freaking timer?
No, this was the first time I've even come close to seeing the stacks.